I'm live. I'm going to go post a link on the website. We're going to start in 4 minutes. So if you're finding the recording, go ahead and fast forward 4 minutes. We'll get everybody loaded in here. And we will be playing Funicula today. And it's going to be way harder than I wish it was. All right. Got the link posted. Let's make sure it works properly. And then we will double check as people load in whether the sound is good. Got my coffee here right in the main line of the video. You can decide what you think of this. All right, so let's see. Did it work? There's that, and it opens up to moi. It's not at all what I told it to do. How funny! So when you set up, but it'll be funny. But it'll be all right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Back for more. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. um, the thing that makes me happy on YouTube, right before when you're setting up these streams, it says we want to take a picture of you, and you're like, yeah. And so I never know what to do, so I make goofy faces. Every now and then you make this goofy face, and it's like, okay, that's what we're gonna use, and then you push start the stream, and every now and then it gives you a completely different thing. So today, what is posted as the cover of this video has not at all what I told it to post. So that's funny. I like that. Let's see who else is logged in. LG, Valerie, Vic is here, Lindy's here, Kay is here, Cindy's here. Yo, Linda's here. Oh, you made it to being a member. How exciting. Good. Thanks, Linda. I appreciate it. A lot of you guys are getting set up to be members, and I do appreciate that. I know that mostly I try to do everything that's free, right? I like free. I have this thing with free, but I worry about posting copyrighted material, just leaving it laying around on the internet. And so that's the purpose of the membership, is just to keep a little section that's the good stuff, right? And over time, what's happening is, I'm pretty much got public domain music handled, right? So I'm going to be doing more and more and more stuff of modern copyrighted stuff, and that's going to end up in the member section. And so those of you guys that are members are going to get all the good stuff. So we'll keep you busy. Okay? We'll make it worth your 25 cents a day. Let's see. And by the way, Linda, I hope California and the Bay Area is doing better. My goodness, last I heard, you guys were smoked in and all that. We're having still a ton of smoke in our skies out there, but it's a tiny bit better than it was. We know a good free thing when we see it. Free is good, right? Free is good. This is music, right? We're supposed to be sharing it openly and honestly with one another. That's not how musicians see it, though. They were like, well, I work really, really hard. I want to make a little bit of money off of this. And I get it, right? I get it. But it ends up being very elitist that the good stuff is super expensive. Hey, Fran. Lynn is back in for more. Carol's back in for more. We tried Zoom. We really did. When all this started to happen, we tried some Zoom stuff, and I will be honest, I hate it. And I will tell you, it creates a distraction. Like, I get why people are doing it, right? We want to see what each other looks like, but what we look like is not what we're doing, right? You look like what you look like. I wish I looked like, a guy off of the news channel, 27 named Trevor. But that's not it, right? So these Zoom things where there's 50 different people on here and 12 pages, you start looking around at what the people look like instead of doing what you're supposed to do, which is music, right? And so hopefully, the other reason is there's a technology gap there where people struggle with the technology and turning things off and turning them on and sharing your screen and all this stuff. It's just more stuff that gets in the way of what you really need is a piece of sheet music, a guy to talk you through it, and then you practicing. That's why I like the YouTube stuff. There's very little technology. You click on the link and you click play, and then after that, it's your ukulele and your sheet music, and hopefully me saying something smart enough to tune in for you. And so I vastly prefer this YouTube situation. Plus, you can minimize me real small, make your sheet music real big, and hopefully that helps a little bit, right? So that's why we're doing it on Zoom or YouTube. I just the whole. I do private lessons on Zoom or FaceTime or that type of stuff. But I really did this in terms of just having a class where you're focused in on what you need to do. I think this is a better arrangement. So plus we're zoomed out, aren't we? All right, so there's my thoughts on why we're doing what we're doing. Annie, welcome in. Lanny, here Lanny brushed his teeth. That's a joke from harmonica class. Jack, oh, second class today, and baritone is next. Yep, Jack, we're keeping you busy. Glad you're here, Jack. Terry, welcome in. Terry's been joining us forever. I really appreciate you being with us, bud. Cindy, Cindy's saying hi to Annie. Don't talk to the Annie. Ellen, looking forward to an hour with you. Oh, I don't know, an hour with me. Can you imagine? Let's see. I have to spend all day with this stuff going on in my head. Clay, welcome back. Pauline, thank you for renewing, Pauline. Barbara, I hope that we got your membership worked out. Again, I think I have everybody straightened out on their memberships. It's definitely not my best thing that I do, but I'm trying to. I want to make sure you guys are feeling good. Melissa, ciao. Terry, I can see this guy in Denver today. Yeah, right. We could actually. There was a tiny bit of blue up in Denver, so Bozeman, everything's beautiful in Bozeman all the time. Red, I'll never get sick of you. You are too entertaining. Patty's back. Cindy. Oh no. Too much. Yeah, no, too much COVID. Minette is in. Minette. We burned Minette's neighborhood down. I'm glad she's back. Good to see you, Minette. Lindy. Yeah, and the music doesn't say, and it's fascinating to me, right? Zoom. That one of the things they're meant for is having office meetings, and then the sound is fine. But if you try to run music through this stuff, it's not set up that way. YouTube, on the other hand, was really built around the idea of getting you music, and so the sound is better. It's just better, it's higher quality video, the whole thing. So I'm convinced that YouTube is the way we should be doing this. Air quality is unhealthy most of the Bay Area. Such a bummer, Clay. Oh, I hate California having bad things. It's like when United States looks terrible, I hate that. I don't know why. And when Colorado looks terrible, I hate that. I hate it. And we also want California to be this sort of magical place where everything's perfect. It's like the Italy of the United States. We want everything to go well there. Hate it when things are going bad in California. Let's see. Chris, glad you're here. Bob, index is below 100. We're getting down there. We're supposed to get an 88-degree day on Friday, and which is so I'm just holding on recorded like this, right? Checking in from Lakewood. Renee, good to see you. Yes, the air is better, but the quality is moderate. Purple air. Ugh, yeah, I know. We want California to be perfect. All right. Hey, Marie, welcome in. City Zoom cocktail. Oh, yeah, Zoom cocktail parties. My wife does those with her friends. It's funny. I don't know. I don't have any friends, so I don't do that. All right. Let's play some music. We're gonna dig into Funiculi, and I want to be honest, guys. This piece doesn't really fit on ukulele very well, so I want you to talk yourself into. You know how we're always on Tough Uke. I want you to talk yourself into just playing the melody today. Okay, look at your chords. Your chords are doable. They're doable. Okay, nothing super fancy there. We're gonna go through. We're gonna treat it almost like it's orchestra night. Okay, I'm gonna play chords. I'm gonna play melody. You're gonna play the opposite, right? And so let's go through. Let's learn the melody. You can play the tough acts. Okay, it is possible, but it's super hard, and it's really gonna require you to be dead on perfect. Like you're going to have to love this song in order to get it out of a tough X arrangement. It's there. It'll work. It's lovely. But it's just too hard. This song is supposed to be silly and fun. Some of you who are my age or older will remember Seinfeld. I still watch it every single night. I've watched every episode 5,000 times. But you'll remember when the maestro comes around and Elaine is singing da dum 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 da 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 dum. You'll remember that scene, and that's what we want. We want that goofy silliness out of this. So, Funicula was actually written because they opened a funicular in Italy, and they had them. They wrote a song for it, and here you have it, and it's lovely. It's super fun, and if you don't know what a funicular is, hopefully you do. But all over Europe, and they used to have one here in Colorado that went up Mount Manitou Springs. They took it out, and it's just stairs now. But when you have a super steep hill, they have these trains that are set on this hill like this, and then you get in them, and they just go like that. They're all over Europe. We don't have that many in the United States, but and we rode in one in Budapest that was like that's the original one, you know, and maybe not the original funicular, but certainly the original one in Budapest, and it's got wood paneling. And the whole time you're like, we're gonna die in this thing, but it just pulls you up the hill. Is what it's a train that goes up the hill. So, hey, Kat, welcome in. All right, now we'll do the chords later. Let's just do the melody, okay? The big thing with this, you want to have fun, right? Ba-dum, 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 ba-bum, bum. Okay, so let's just try it. Let's play a little bit. Let's see. Let's play these first 9 measures, okay? And then we're supposed to repeat. So let's just do the top from the top. 1, 2. That's it. That's it. Okay. You would think, oh, that's going to be great on as a tough X piece. It's not that great as a tough X piece. It's okay. Okay. And I'm going to tell you how to get the best out of this if you decide this is a thing for you. Okay. Let's play that first section again. And remember, the first time through, we play into measures 8 and 9. The second time through, you're not going to play into 8 and 9. So let's play it as if it's the second time through. Okay. So do the pickup note and then play 1 through 7 and then skip to 10. Okay. From the top. 1, 2. Okay, and then it's going to go on. Okay, stop there for just a second. I would be less worried about getting the tempo exactly right than getting your tone right. Okay, so a lot of times when we're playing as a group, we're just busy getting everything in order timing wise. But with this one, da dum da dum ba da ba dum ba dum. Bum. Now you can get the timing exactly right, but who cares, right? Get your tone right, but really try to get a clean, nice sound out of your ukulele. Let's try one more time. Let's do the second time through, and then we'll go on a little bit. I will mention this thing's going to be all the way up to 12. There was no way to fit it on ukulele without going up to 12. And so we're going to go clear up there. So that's the place where your pinky is going to get there. You're going to have to get it clean. But you've got lots of 7s and plenty of 9s, unfortunately. So be thinking about the best arrangement of your fingers on here. On the early part of this with 7-5-3, I have a tendency to be ring, middle, index, ring, middle, index. But you might do pinky, middle, index, something like that. Just you make a choice of what is going to work the best for you. Okay, from the top, second time through, 1, 2. Let that ring. Now go up to 7. Let it ring. Down to 2. Okay, and then you're going to go up to 5s and 10s. So start with your index on 5. All the way to 12. And so you got to switch your page, right? So hopefully, I got to get my page turner going. When you get to those 12s, let's talk about why you hardly ever see 12s. Okay. This is the last note you're allowed to use on ukulele, and I want you to think about why. Okay. When at some point one of you is going to be like, I'm going to start writing music, and we're going to be very proud of you, and you're going to write things that go up to 15, because that's the way the regular sheet music goes. It goes all the way up to 15 on a regular basis. You're not allowed to go there. Here's why. Soprano ukuleles, for the most part, they go to 12, and then there are no other notes. There's nothing left there. So you're only allowed to go to 12. Okay. If you ever find yourself working on a piece of music and you type in a 15, then I have to come and I have to fight you. Okay. We have had that every single time almost when somebody starts writing music for our orchestra, they go up to 15. Okay. And that note, this note here, that's a real note in music, but we can't use that in ukulele. So 12 is your maximum. Okay. In addition to that, we have started talking to our writers in our orchestra and saying, listen, you hear this note? We don't need that in society. We really don't. That's a terrible note. Okay. 10, that's actually starting to get where our ears are accepting of that. Okay. So let's make sure you understand. When you see a 12, you know I am desperate, okay? I got to get this thing to fit on a ukulele. There's a 12. I've got to put them on there, but I don't like them, okay? And when you're writing, if you find yourself and you're like, all right, I'm writing a new song or I'm arranging a song and I want to put some stuff on, if you're hitting 12, your things are not going well, right? Think about changing the key. Think about doing something different. But this song, because we need it to go way up high, otherwise it doesn't sound right. So I know 12 is my maximum. I've gone to the maximum. That means I have to go all the way and put it into the a key where it doesn't run out of room. You will also notice on this piece that most of it is on the first string, some of it on the second string, and really none of it on the third string. So I could have dropped it down a little bit lower and made it work, except if you go to measure 37, there's a big old fat 0 there in the way. Okay. And I'm lying to you. If you go down to let's look at I don't know, measure 37. You've got these zeros on here, okay? And when you go all the way down to this E, you run out of things to give yourself some chording room, and so that's why I don't like to do that. I like the thing to fit where there's enough sound on the lower ones to have some chord underneath it, but I don't like it to go up to 12. This song was an exception. I don't you like it. You got 12s. All right, let's go from measure. Well, let's go back to measure 10. Let's pick up from measure 10. Funiculi, Funiculi. That's the one we're working on, Linda. Are we supposed to be? Is today Wednesday? What is today? Today's Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm supposed to be doing Funiculi, Funicula. Okay. That was on the wrong song. Belinda was on the wrong day. Okay, good. Let's go from 10. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Now up to 7. Down to the 2s. Okay, now 5s and 10s. And then the 12s. Back to the 5s. Okay, so now that's that whole section. That's it. Okay, but unfortunately, because of the way that the melody is, there's not a ton of melody. There's no melody in there, right? It's just one note repeated a whole bunch of times. You got to get your timing right. You got to get your tone right. And so I'd be less worried about the timing than the thought behind it, right? So I want to have good, clean tones. Da dum da dum da dum da dum da dum dum da dum da dum da dum da dum. Okay. Now let's go to 30. 30, we get some melody again. Okay, measure 30. 1, measure 30. 1, 2. Bum, 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 bum. 10. Okay, so you see how hard that's going to be, right? You're down here, and all of a sudden you're going to be 10, 8, 7, 5, 3, dun 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 dun. Okay, so that's going to be fast and hard to do, and then also getting that dun 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 dun. It's hard to get that right if you're not just channeling the music and worrying a little bit less about the actual correct timing of it and more about the getting the Italianness into it. Okay, so I'd like to go from 30 down to the end, and just remember when that 10 comes up, okay, 10, but we've seen this in other songs too, right? 10, 8, 7, 5, 3, okay, from the top, from measure 30, please. 1, 2. Love it, right? Super fun. Now, the reason we're spending quite a bit of time on the melody here is, first of all, it's pretty challenging. You got to get the tone right. You got to get the rhythm in there. You don't have to get the timing perfect, but you got to get that dun in there. Okay. Otherwise, it doesn't work. If you're just playing straight, it's going to feel a little off. Now, let's talk about chords. Okay. And I'm going to give you two things to think about. This is a fun piece to play with other people. So if you knew somebody who had a ukulele, you would invite them over and you'd say, "This is what we want to do." Okay, so let's talk about chords. C chord, ba-dum, 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 ba-bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-bum, bum. All right, and then you go to the G7 and back to C. And I am not singing it right, but you got the idea, right? So C, G7, C. Those are one beat, okay? It's in 6/8 time, but you're really conducting it in two. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2. So you're really counting in two instead of six, because if you can't sing, it's ridiculous. So when you see a G7 show up in the middle of a measure, it's just a C, G7, back to C. Okay. The other thing to pay attention to is the speed on this is 140. The correct speed is probably about 160. This is supposed to zip right along. Okay, you're supposed to play it fast. Measure 7, again, the same thing. C, G7, C. Then the other chords you're going to be dealing with here are a little bit more advanced, but not brutal. In measure 13, you've got E minor. Okay, make sure you know how that one is. That should probably be memorized for you. That shape, E minor, that's going to come up a lot. Okay, so that was one you should absolutely know. B7 doesn't come up near as much, and so I would get it if you're like, I don't remember what B7 is. Bar on 2, that right on the 3rd string. And there's your B7. And you're going to be noticing you're going to be going dun, 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 right? So you're going to be that's a kind of a tough motion on ukulele. And so that one's coming up for you. Remember, B7 is really an A7 with your bar on 2. Okay, so A7 shape on 2 is a B7. And then when you go and play it through this whole section. Notice how you're bouncing around between one beat, and sometimes the E minor gets 2 beats. Okay, measure 13, measure 17, measure 19. You're going to strum E minor twice. Okay, and then when you get to measure 21, now things change again, right? Because we're going ba-bum, ba-bum. And then bum, bum. And so you get a new set of chords. Measure 21, you got your G chord, index, middle, ring. That's going to switch to this D7 shape. And you'll notice when we went up to 12s, I dropped the chord out from underneath there because you're not going to be successful doing this 12 with your D shape. D shape's here. You just know it's not going to go well. So I just dropped the chord entirely. Measure 23, go back to your G chord, back to your D7. Okay, you run that section clear up through 29. Measure 30, okay, which is sort of the culmination of this fun song. It starts on mostly G7, right? Bum 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 ba-dum 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 bum ba-da-dum ba-da-da bum ba-da-da. Okay, and then so that's when you see that feels like so we need to resolve this eventually. Da-dum da-dum da-da-da da-dum. So it's holding up here, and then finally ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum. Okay, and that's where that C chord comes in. There's where the resolve is, and then 38 you got an E7. That's hopefully that's sort of a more or less standard chord for you as well. Okay. Go to your A minor in 39. You can feel it starting to resolve itself, starting to come into a final version of what the song wants to be. 40, back to E7, A minor. 42, you pulled in your F chord. 43, the C chord. G7, and then resolve to F, C. Okay. Now, when you're playing this song, when you get to 45, you're supposed to go right back to 30. So grab your highlighter and mark that, measure 30, because otherwise your eyeball's going to track all the way over to the first page. You're going to forget. You're going to be so busy getting all your notes right that you're going to hit the end of 45 and your eyeball's going to go over to page 1. And you're like, that's not where I'm supposed to be. And then you're like, where am I supposed to be? So put a piece of highlighter on measure 30 so you go back to the right location. Okay. Now, why do I not want you to play tough acts on this? First of all, it's too hard to make it fun. Second of all, and we'll talk through it. We'll go through it real quick here in just a minute, but it is too hard. And I don't like to give you stuff that's really not fun to play. Well, everything I give you is not fun to play, right? What I want to give you is stuff that you just like, gosh, I can't wait to get onto that. This one will be one of those where you're like, I should work on that. And I don't like half songs like that. This one you should be playing with as a duet with somebody. Okay, so hopefully you know a friend, and you're going to play melody, and they're going to play chords. Okay, dum 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 ba dum ba dum 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 ba 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 dum. Okay, so they're going to be playing C chord, C chord, C chord, C chord, and then whatever comes up, right? One strum of each, just getting that back and forth at almost like a drum. Okay, don't make them be overly specific. You'll have them adapt to you a little bit, right? Keep that motion going, and then with your melody line, you're going to have plenty of things to keep you busy. Now, when you get together with somebody and you're doing the chords and you're doing the melody, then they want to switch to uke 2. Uke 2 is here on purpose so that they can start practicing an arpeggio pattern underneath your melody that's going to be even more interesting. So instead of ba-ba-bum, ba-dum, 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 ba-bum, bum, which is fine. It'll sound lovely. Just have them switch to uke 2, or maybe you do it and they play the melody, and you're going to play ba-dum, 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 bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Okay, so they're going to be bouncing back and forth between they're basically thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb, index. And that's what we want to do. I would say, yeah, that 3 is fine. It's gonna create sort of this mechanical kind of ding dong, ding dong, ding dong effect underneath there that will sound like a Funicula. Okay, so the idea there is to be getting. You're busy doing your melody line. They're busy doing this little ting tong, ting tong, ting tong underneath there, so it'll sound like an actual Funicula. going up the thing, and it will be a blast. Okay, so those of you guys who are not in Denver, or even if you are in Denver and you go into some of the um, other ukulele things, that would be fun to put this together, right? And so you and two people, you and another person, one plays melody, one plays that, and then when you do the repeats, switch parts, right? So that they play melody and you play the ching chung ching chung ching chung. I think that would be a fun way to present this. And those of you guys that are in town, out of town, doesn't matter. You guys know you can use this music, right? This is why it's sitting out here for free on the website. Just go start working on it, put it together. Sooner or later, they're going to let us out of the house, where we're not going to die, and then you're going to have something that's ready to play. You go to your ukulele strum along. They have okay, time for solos. Who's got something? And you go up and you play this. Everybody will love it. Everybody will love this because this is a very fun song. Renee says E minor to B7. I slide my ring. Make the bar sound. Okay, so E minor. She says I'm taking E minor. I slide my ring finger and put my middle finger over index finger, like this. Yeah. This is an effective bar technique. Okay, so on B7, right? If you're doing fine, just do it that way. But you can absolutely put your middle finger on top of that and then use your ring finger. Okay, that helps push your bar down. The good news is if you do this, you're not creating a bad habit. This is something that like legitimate guitar and ukulele people do, right? We actually use our middle finger, hold down the bar when we can. So that's good news. It doesn't create a bad habit or any of that sort of stuff. It just ensures your bar is nice and flat. Okay. The bad news is that there's going to be lots of chords, and you guys have already done a million of them. B flat, F shape in front, pinky on 8. Okay, when you're going to run out of fingers, and so don't over rely on this. But if you got a bar chord where you can absolutely just do that, you'll get a more effective bar that way. Great thought, Renee. Yeah, perfectly legitimate. All right, so that's what I want you to do with this song. Is I want somebody to play melody and somebody to play chords. Okay, I am going to play the melody, and you're going to play the chords. Okay. And if I get off, you have to adjust to me because I can't hear you. I'm going to assume that the beat in my head is correct. Okay. Now, if you can do the boom, 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 thumb, index, and do that, it'll sound the best. But if you can't do that, just strum the chords. Okay, I'm going to try to keep it as steady as I can. I'm going to miss a ton of notes. I haven't practiced this near as much as I should to be doing it this way. I'm going to play melody. You're going to play either the chords or uke 2. Okay, let's see how we do. We may have to stop a few plays while I reload. Okay, from the top, we will do the repeat. 1, 2. Back to the top. Measure 11 and then into 12. Measure 16. Really long. Get to measure 21. $30. missed the last note. How'd we do? Okay. Did you get a sense of the timing? Did you get where maybe those chords will work? Maybe you can get the doom, doom, doom. You would probably have to play fairly quickly, right? Bum, 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 boom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Boom, 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 boom. Why is the chord in measure 18B7 and measure 23D7? Never mind. So, all right. I'm going to never mind it, Cindy. Very bad, Renee writes. Blew it. Okay. So we learned, right? That's a lot of work, right? Because I can't hear you. So I'm going off of the rhythm in my head. Now, if we're in the same room, we're going to go through that 3 or 4 times and then we're going to have it. Okay. But at least initially, it was easier with the chords than U2. I'd say for sure, start off with your chords 1, 2, 1, 2, but it's hard. Okay, let's do it one more time. We may end up pulling this into orchestra on Monday nights. This is kind of fun. Okay, let's do it one more time. I'll slow down a little bit. How about that? Will that help? Probably that would help. I'll slow it down just a little bit. And you kind of have to listen to me to get the sense of what your initial timing is. Once you've got your initial timing, it should flow fairly smoothly. Okay, so grab your chords or try the funicular gears and see how we do. Okay, I'm going to try to hit every note. I blew the last note. Okay, 1, 2. Da, da, da. Back to the top. Measure 11. Okay, measure 21. Okay, nice long break there, and then go. Let's go back and do it again. Okay. I wish I could hear you because I bet you're playing amazing stuff. Okay. If you can get together with somebody, right, 8 feet apart, you gotta be 8 feet apart because you're gonna laugh. Um, or one person's playing the chords and the other person's playing the melody, then you really got some. I got measure 40. Renee killed measure 46. Renee, you're a comedian. U2 went tons better that time. Okay, love it with U2. So the U2, right? And what's happening? Lindy and Cindy are very experienced players, so they're probably able to. Yep, that's making sense. I'm gonna keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. But if you're a newer player, right, grab the chords. Boom, 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 boom. Vic says no, didn't go well. U2 is easier. So the idea there is to set you up for a really, really fun, sweet kind of cute duet. And some of you don't have ukulele people in your lives, and that's okay, right? You got me. Um, but if you have somebody and you want to say, hey, let's do a duet, these two pieces of paper could turn that into something really, really classic and really fun. And like I said, you play melody one time and then switch parts, and change hats or whatever. One of you has a mustache, one of you doesn't, and you've got something kind of fun. Let's run through the tough uke real quick. Just make sure tough uke is easier than following chords at the top. Yes, but the tough uke is not fun on this one. So I'm just letting you know now. We're going to run through it. Oh, you got to get out of here. All right, Renee, you've been spending way too much time with me anyway. Get out of here. Go see your physical therapist. All right, let's walk through the tough uke. Again, I'm not recommending this as a tough uke song. We got way easier, way more productive songs than this. But you might, I don't know, maybe you're Italian. Maybe you need to add this one. Maybe you love funiculas. Don and I, when we travel, whenever there's a funicular, we're on it. Okay, we love it. Okay, so we know how basically now we got a pretty good sense of how the tune goes, right? So we're gonna go nice and slow, and then we'll play through it until we get to something ugly, and then we're going to stop and we'll talk about it. Okay, the ugliness begins at measure 13, and it really doesn't let up until the end of the song. So grab your C chord, C chord, and then put a ring finger there on the other three. You're going to need it here for a second. Okay, so nice and slow. 1, 2. Measure 5. Now here's a mess of a chord, right? It's this high G, 557, and you have to get it in here quickly and then get rid of it. That's the problem here. So, and if it's me, if I'm going to play this as a tough uke, I'm like, that chord is not worth the work. Okay. Probably what I want to do. I'm an oversimplifier in a lot of cases, and it drives some of my fellow musicians mad. He doesn't play everything. Well, I don't know. It's there's more notes to play, but you're supposed to get your high G in here. Okay, but if you just hit the 5 and went on and just dropped the chord altogether, you'd probably be fine. Okay, let's keep going from measure 6. 1, 2. Go back and we repeat that section. Let's start at measure 10. Okay, measure 10. 1, 2. Now you're going to go up, grab all 3 7s, leave this top one open. And then you've got this up as a mess. This is why I don't recommend this as a tough uke. Guess what you're dealing with here? 8, 9, 7, 9. That is your E7 shape on 7. Okay, index on 7. That's your bar. E7 shape in front of it. That's what you're dealing with there. There's no better. This is the easiest solution. Okay, to having a B7 with your melody on 9 or 7. Melody way up there. Okay, melody on 9. Okay, so you've come out of those 7s. And then this B7 is, okay, again, the easy out is just play the 9s and forget the chord altogether. Back to your 7s. Back to your E7. Back to your 7s. Okay, so that's the section there. If I'm playing this as a tough uke, I'm dropping the chords. I'm playing 7, 9, 9, 7, 7, 9, 9, 7. Okay, and I'm probably going to go ahead and play this full E minor. And I'm dropping the B7 chord. That's me. Okay, if you want to work this thing up, I'd be so proud of you. Okay, now measure 16. Go grab your 2. But you're probably going to grab it with a bar because you've got this bar coming in, right? So grab the 2. E minor. So that's what you're going to do there. That actually turns out to be fairly complicated, probably, if it's me, I'm probably going to take this B7 and put the E minor in front of it, just leave my bar on, and then not play that top string. That's your E minor there, right? All right, B7, E minor, B7, E minor, and just ignore your top string, and then you don't have to. And then you don't have to. You have less work to do over here. Okay. Then we're going to go on to measure the end of pick up to 21. Okay. You've got that 5, just like you would in the melody. 5. Now you've got to slide all the way up and get this high G. Bar on 7, pinky on 10. And I've already dropped the D for you because there was no useful D up here. So you're going to take this G chord, hit the 10, go grab your 2 12s, and then bring it back. And then you've got just an extra 7s. And then you've done all of the work you can do in there. Drop down to your 5s. And I would grab those 5s with your pinky. Dun, 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 strum. Add your G chord on. And then you're going to have to do another at 27. And then you've got to get this D7 in there. Flunk. And then back to your G chord. Okay, so that's a lot of work for, I'm not positive exactly how much fun you're having doing that. Okay. This is supposed to be fun. Remember when it was fun before you met me? All right, measure 30, grab your G7, lift up your ring, put the 3 up, back to 2, hit 34. And then do a C chord at 37, E7, A minor, E7, E minor with a 3 on top, A minor, and then a bar on 5. Go grab the 3, put your F chord on, back to the 3, and then the C chord, 1, and you gotta go all the way to bar 7, pinky on 10, grab the 8, all 7s, 5, 3, and then go back and repeat that, and then you come around last time. That's it. Okay, so again, it's too much work as a tough uke piece. It's there. You can work on it. Maybe this is your thing. Maybe this is your moment. Okay, but I know if it were me, I for sure would play this as 2 people. That's what I would do. Come to LA for their Angel Flight train. Sounds more romantic than Funicula. Yeah, right. Trains are kind of romantic. I don't know why. Isn't that weird? All right, kids. That's what I got for you today. Funicula. This, when we meet on Friday, we will play it as a duet rather than a tough uke, and I think it will be fun. So practice both sides of that. Maybe you play the melody, maybe you play the chords, but that's it. Now, I did post Carnival of Venice and O Sol Mio. Carnival of Venice, I've decided is so easy, I'm going to move it into the introductory program. It's absolutely super fun, super easy. There's one weird thing in there. One. Other than that, it couldn't possibly be a better tough uke thing. 2 chords, absolutely delightful to play. And so Carnival of Venice should work out great for you. And then this morning I did O Sol Mio, and struck me as a kind of a fun piece to play, and so we will work on that. It's basically 2 separate movements of this, and a lot of the pieces put switch order that they're in. I went with the order that I'm used to hearing it. It starts off sort of serene and pleasant and goes into a little bit more energetic piece toward the end. And then we go back and do it the whole thing over again. So both of those pieces should be fun to tackle tonight. like I say, Carnival of Venice is very straightforward, and so those of you who are, getting yourself up to speed, it's definitely should be right dead square in the middle of what you're doing. And for some of you, it'll be a little boring. And that's it. So hopefully, you had a good day today. Again, Funiculi, go make a friend, teach them how to play, and then play Funicula. That's what I would recommend. I think it would be blast. All right, there we go. Have a great day. my new catchphrase is what I'm intending to say: be safe and do good. Right? Be safe, do good. Let's see. What are you guys telling me over here? I got all these cool. Uh, I figured out major 12, E minor and B7 in third position. Yeah, well, do it that way, right? Excellent, Linda. Hope we see this in orchestra. I hope we do too. I hope we have orchestra at some point again in the future. Jennifer, third position, E minor, B7. I wish I knew how. I'm not sure I know what you guys are talking about. I'm going to assume that you're talking about brilliant stuff. Manette, have a great day. Thanks for a fun Nicula. Cute. Mahalo, Lanny. Good to see you, bud. Melissa, have a great day. Barbara, good to see you. Pauline, there we go. Annie, have a great day. Ciao. Patty, Jennifer, Chris, Linda, Terry, uh, Terry again. You can say whatever you want. As long as you invite me to dinner once in a while, you can call me whatever you want. It's fun and tiring. That one took it out of me. I knew as I was typing it up. I thought, oh, this is too much work. Have a great day, Christine. Clay, good to see you. Hopefully, this smoke will clear out for you, Clay. And Red, Zoom is bad. Boo, Zoom. We're lucky to have it. Have a great day, you guys. I'm going to end the stream off to baritone class, right? I'll see you guys soon. Thanks, Valerie.